Okay, so I want to talk about the whole pro-choice movement. How do we get here? How do we get to living in a society that's pro-choice, where you got the whole Democratic left party pro-choice? How do we get here? So let's go through things step by step. First, it was a societal norm. It all comes down to societal norms, by the way. So first societal norm was abstinence. We lived in a society that promoted abstinence. Do not have sex until marriage. This is wrong. Okay? Next, that didn't work, so they went to teaching safe sex. You can have sex whenever you want, just use protection. Then, people are not going to use protections, because people are human beings and they're going to have times where they're not using protections. I imagine most abortions are because people, either protection didn't work, which is very rare, or they didn't use the protection, but it was promoted to them that it's okay to have sex whenever, just use protection, and it's still promoting sex to have happen whenever. People are going to do it. There you go, you get your unwanted pregnancies, what they call it. So now you have unwanted pregnancies, which I want to add, the only reason a pregnancy is unwanted is because a woman was raped. That's literally less than 1% of abortions are rape victims. That means only those people are the only ones that actually have unwanted pregnancies. The rest are having wanted pregnancies because you're intentionally doing something that will make you pregnant. You're doing the thing that's... You can't say, I am going to do something that has this effect from this cause and this was unwanted. Unless you are ignorant to knowing, which you are, because you're living in a society where they're not teaching these things to you. They're not telling you, this is what you're doing. You're doing a thing that's made for this. And you should not be doing this thing that's made for this unless you're prepared and married and all that stuff. So, okay, then now we gotta be pro-choice, because as far as people's minds are concerned, they're not doing anything wrong. They're having sex as they were taught is okay to have. And they were taught to do it safely, but it didn't happen. Whatever. So here's the problem. Abstinence was the problem. It was never fixed. The problem with abstinence was it didn't work because people are going to do it anyways. Okay? So you teach the safe sex, but how do you teach the safe sex is where it went wrong. You teach, if you're going to have sex outside of marriage, here's some protection. Don't do this though. This is wrong. If you're teaching that this is wrong, everyone's minds, they'll think this is a wrong thing to do. I should wait till marriage. And if you're going to be bad and you're going to do these things, or whatever you want to call it, the society will know. It'll be promoted in society that everyone knows this is what happens. Don't do these things. It's like all the information is there, but people aren't putting the pieces together for some reason. It's like people are doing this thing, and they're trying safe sex. It's not working because they're going to have unsafe sex. It's just going to happen. The same thing with the abstinence things. People aren't going to be absent. They're just going to have sex. Same thing's going to go when strapping a condom on is not going to make the guy always use the condom the same way. Telling a person not to have sex and actually make everyone not have sex. The same line of reasoning works for why both of them don't work. So at the end of the day, what really needs to be taught, don't have sex, and if you're going to have sex, use protection. Just know this is wrong, and you have to suffer the consequences if it doesn't work, if the protection doesn't work. And this is something I don't see anyone talking about on the right. The people on the right who are supposedly, they're anti-abortion, but they're pro-life, but they don't talk about this. They talk about the effect. It's like they go to the end of it, of the whole story, and they say, we are anti your ending. But what about the whole thing that led to the ending? What about the fact that we're not promoting in the society today to wait till marriage to have sex, and that it's wrong to have sex before marriage? I think people on the right should be talking about that more. Because if they're not going to be promoting that, they're not going to be pushing this idea, and the society is just... If they want the society to remain exactly the same way it is now, but be pro-life and let everyone have babies, I think you're going to have a next generation of kids, a bunch of suicidal maniacs, because they're all a bunch of unwanted kids the parents hate and will regret having the whole child's life. This is going to cause a lot of problems, and it probably does have more problems than I know of. But, yeah, that's what I got to say about all this.